What's going on, guys? Hit Squad here again, back at it with another video. Before I get started, I want to encourage everybody to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really just helps the channel out. Now, I want to give my thoughts on Ian Rapoport's statement stating that he feels that the New York Giants could be the dark horse of the NFL next year. I actually don't think that's far-fetched at all. I think that's closer than a lot of, fans feel it is. But there are things that obviously need to take place in order for that to happen, and I'm going to go over what I feel needs to take place in order for that to happen. Before I do, don't look at me. We in quarantine. We in quarantine. What else am I supposed to do? Come on. Yeah, it was a little babysit, but it's all good. So, what needs to happen in order for that to happen? As cliche as it sounds, everything needs to click. Everything. Which that's not a surprise to nobody. We're implementing a brand new offense. We're implementing a brand new defense. Offensive side is going to be the Air Coryell system ran by Jason Garrett. Defensive side, it's most likely going to be a 3-4 hybrid with Patrick Graham. Now, with these new schemes, particularly with the Air Coryell scheme, Jason Garrett's been successful in that scheme. You look at the Dallas Cowboys, though I dislike the Cowboys, they have a pretty solid offense throughout the years, in my honest opinion. Tight ends excel in that system, which hopefully Evan Ingram could take that step forward in this new offense. I do think that Pat Shermer used him incorrectly. He's not a traditional tight end. He gets dinged up a lot, but in this offense, he shouldn't be getting as dinged up. Hopefully, he can stay healthy. We did pick up his fifth-year option. And with the system, it's very important that the offensive line is strong. We're very used to these quick passes, quick slant routes. With this system, you need time to step back. You need time for the receivers to break their routes, which I think it's good that we went heavy on the offensive line in this draft, securing up that left side. Hopefully, we got something in Matt Pert and Shane Lemieux. Now, with that being said, I do think that the Giants take a step forward next year on the offense and defensive side. Jason Garrett groomed Tony Romo. He groomed Dak Prescott as well. And those are two solid quarterbacks. Whatever you think, they are two solid quarterbacks. And I do feel that he's going to have success with Daniel Jones. I do feel that our offensive line is going to be improved next year. Our offensive line really wasn't that bad last year. It was pretty bad, but not as bad as it's been in recent years. So, us buying Daniel Jones that time also helps Saquon Barkley out. Look at what Saquon Barkley's been able to do with the offensive line that we've given him the last 2 years. Now that we're solidifying this offensive line, I think he could really, really have a breakout year. I'm not going to say it's next year, but don't be surprised with the next year or the year after that he have a tremendous season behind this revamped offensive line. On the defensive side, I personally got to see Patrick Graham's defense down here in South Florida. I saw a couple Miami games, and really it wasn't even the scheme with Miami. It was more the players that were on that field for the defense. He didn't have much to work with, and I think he has a lot more to work with on this side, on the defensive side. The pickup of Xavier McKinney. I actually really like the Blake Martinez signing. Um, we're developing a team, and I think our secondary is definitely solidified. You put Bradbury on the outside. I think he properly uses DeAndre Baker. James Betcher misused a lot of our players, such as DeAndre Baker, Lorenzo Carter. So I think that these players take the next step. Now, that brings me to point two. We need our second and third year players to take the next step that we feel as fans they should be taking. I had a high grade on Lorenzo Carter, but I feel that he's been misused in the James Betcher defense. I think that Patrick Graham, with as smart as a defensive coordinator he is, will use his players to the best of his abilities. And we're going to see a lot of the players that we drafted 2 years ago take that next step. I think O'Shane Jimenez actually has a breakout year next year for us. And Xavier McKinney and Jabril Peppers, that's going to be a force to reckon with, in my honest opinion. But we need our players to really take that next step forward. Will Hernandez had a down year last year, which I feel had a big part in Nate Solder, with his mishaps. I know Nate Solder had his own stuff going on, but I think, when you're picking up the slack on the person next to you, it's going to mess up your game even more. So we need our players to take the next step forward. Hopefully, Mark Colombo, who was a good good oh my God, offensive line coach in Dallas. I feel that he can definitely use this offensive line to better our offense. I'm not worried about Darius Slayton really taking the next step forward or Saquon Barkley. I know that they will. I think at a worst case, Darius Slayton is at least a solid number two wide receiver. But we need our players to take the next step forward. On top of that, you obviously need a little bit of luck and you need your players to stay healthy. Teams are going to get banged up. Not every team is as fortunate as the other, and especially going towards December time, teams are banged up going into the postseason. I think that it's definitely possible that we could be the dark horse. You look at the San Francisco 49ers, the last couple of years, they haven't been too well, but they revamped their defense. Obviously, I'm not saying that we're going to be the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not saying that at all. But I don't think that it's impossible to rule out that we could be the dark horse of the NFL next year. We, to be honest with you, have a weak division. We're unsure about Philly. Dallas seems to be everywhere. We hope, not we hope, but they hope they have a good season with the additions that they've added on the defensive and offensive side of the ball. But who knows if they'll even have a quarterback by then? I don't fucking know. And then the Redskins, I don't really worry about the Redskins as a Giants fan. That's just my honest opinion. But in the same motion, we have to find an identity. I think that we will be a run first offense. The last couple years, at least from my perspective, we've been very confused as a team. We don't know if we want to be a pass oriented team or a run oriented team. And when you draft Saquon Barkley that high and you put this much work into the offensive line, most likely I feel we're going to be a run first team, even in the Air Coryell offense, which is pass and run dominant. So that's just my opinion. Like I said, I have us going 8-8, which I don't think that we as fans can complain about compared to what we've been receiving the last couple of years with these losing seasons. We're headed in the right direction, Giants fans. We just have to be patient. We're in our second year of rebuild. I know some people think our third, but I don't count that first year that we drafted Saquon as a rebuilding year. We were trying to compete while rebuilding, and you just can't do that. So I think this is going to be a 2-3 year process, but we're headed in the right direction, guys. The future is bright. We got to remain optimistic while being realistic with ourselves. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? If you disagree, tell me why. I ain't got no problem. Shit, we in quarantine. I ain't got nothing to do. I'll respond. It's Brooklyn Hit Squad. You guys be safe. I hope everybody's being safe and healthy. And yeah, I ain't got nothing else. See y'all later.